Hey guys! Okay, so we're back again. This is going to be a continuation of our last video where we practice nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So we're going to kick it up a notch, do some comparing and contrasting, and we're also going to practice our sentences with conjunctions because we're getting older and we need to make sure we're writing more mature sentences. So first and foremost, what we're going to do is get some materials. You're going to need a writing utensil. Make sure you bring out a writing utensil because I want to see what you did. Then we're going to need paper. Make sure you grab a piece of paper because I need you to show me how you have understood what I've taught you today. And also last, what you might need is a dance break. So if you need to take a little dance break, go ahead and do what you need to do because we are going to get through this lesson and I want you to have a little fun while we're doing it, okay? So now that we know what we need, we know what we've practiced already, nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Let's just do a little review so we can make sure that we're fresh. Same chart. Nouns are a person, a place, or a thing. Who's a person? Me, Miss McDonald, a person. A place, where are you right now? I'm assuming that you're home. It's a place. And a thing, look around the room, see anything that you consider to be a thing. I see a lamp. That's a thing. Verbs are action words. Verbs are high five, action words. So remember, when we're talking about verbs, we're talking about things that we do, okay? So in our last video, we talked about singing. That was a nice note I hit, wasn't it? Yeah. We talked about dancing. Those are my good dance moves, some of my best. We talked about talking. We talked about laughing. These are all things that we can do. They are verbs. So when we're talking about verbs, think about what you can do with your bodies, like sleeping. Gotcha, didn't I? Verbs. So when we talked about verbs, we flipped over our chart and we talked about adjectives. Adjectives are basically how we describe our nouns. We talked about our senses, our sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of sound, and sense of feel. These are all things we can use to help us remember to use our adjectives. Adjectives make our sentences more interesting because they're boring without them, I'm telling you. We want to see these adjectives in your sentences. They make words and they make language more fun, okay? So adjectives. So when we're talking about describing, we described lemons, we described pudding, we described Fruit Loops, we described, I think that was it, those three things. And then you had to find two things that you wanted to describe as well. So if you don't have your chart out already, bring your chart out, so I think it'll be helpful for this next step too. I forgot to mention that's a material that you might want to bring out. Again, remember, if you need to, pause the video so that you can gain the content. I want you to slow it down so that you get all of the information. It's important because this makes your language grow. It makes your sentences longer and more complex, okay? So today, besides this chart, which we've already reviewed because we just talked about our adjectives and we talked about our nouns and our verbs, okay? We're going to make this chart right here. Does anyone know what this is called? What is this called? This is called a Venn diagram. You're going to make a Venn diagram. What I want you to do is get up your piece of paper and your writing utensil. I want you to draw one circle like so. One circle like so. Then you're going to start your next circle inside the first circle you drew. And you're going to draw it next to the first circle you drew, like so. Because you're making the circles interlock. You're drawing a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram. So you're just drawing one circle and then your second circle. Leave room at the top so that you can write your two different titles. Today we're going to compare and contrast two different items. First one being something we've already talked about, lemon. You know how that was my favorite, so we're definitely going to talk about lemon. So your first circle will have the word lemon. Your second one will have pudding. We're gonna put pudding at the top. Pudding. We're gonna have pudding at the top. We're comparing lemon and pudding. Lemon and pudding. Now we describe these a lot. So if you haven't already gotten it, make sure you get out your chart. Because on the chart, it has how we've described lemons and puddings. Lemon and pudding. All right, so looking at our chart, we describe lemon as a fruit that looked like a half moon or a crescent. It smelled like lemon. It tastes like sour. It tastes pretty sour. It can make a kind of slurp sound when you eat it. And that it was wet, soft, juicy, and a little bumpy on the outside because of its ridges. When we talked about chocolate pudding, we said that it was brown and shapeless, that it smelled like chocolate, and that it tastes like chocolate. We also said that it sounded kind of slurpy when we slurped it in and ate it. And we said that it felt wet, gooey, and sticky. So, when we're thinking about a Venn diagram, let me explain how it works. I know this is review, but let's just go over it, okay? The Venn diagram allows us to compare and contrast two different items. So in this one circle, we are going to compare lemons. Everything that is only true to a lemon goes in this section here. You're only putting things that are true about lemons. Just for lemons. On this side, in our second circle, we're putting things that are only true about pudding. Things that are only true about pudding goes in this circle right here. In the center, we're going to put things that are true about lemon and pudding, how they are the same. What is the same about lemon and pudding? We're putting things that are the same in the middle. So again, on this side, only things that are true about lemon are here. Only things that are true about pudding are here. Things that are true about lemon and pudding go in the middle. Okay? So let's start. When looking at your chart where you compared lemon and pudding, let's talk about how it looks. Because I think lemons and pudding definitely look different. A lemon looks, what did we say? We said it looked like a half moon or a crescent and that it was yellow. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put that it was yellow, Y-E-L-L-O-W, that it looked like a half moon, and that it looked like a crescent. I put that it was yellow, a half moon, and a crescent shaped. How did pudding look? How did we talk about pudding? Let's look back at our chart. We said that it looked brown, and it didn't really have a shape, right? It took on the shape of whatever dish we put it in. So we said it was shapeless. It was brown and shapeless. So these two things don't have anything in common. Lemon and pudding does not look alike. That's why we put only the adjectives that describe lemon on this side and the adjectives that describe pudding on this side. Let's keep it going. How does lemon smell? Lemon smells like lemon. So we're going to write lemon on this side. And for the purpose of this example, we ate chocolate pudding. So what does chocolate pudding taste like? If you said chocolate, then you're right. Chocolate pudding tastes like chocolate. So we're going to write chocolate. Chocolate. Again, these two things are not the same. So we put them on different sides. Lemon goes with lemon. Chocolate goes with chocolate. Let's think about how they taste. Does lemon taste like chocolate pudding? Does chocolate pudding taste like lemon? No. I think that lemon tasted like what? It tasted like lemon. So we're going to write lemon again. And then when you talk about chocolate pudding tastes like chocolate. Chocolate and lemon. However, I do see a similarity here. Look here. I'll put lemon here and lemon here, chocolate here and chocolate here. What question did I ask to create that? I asked what it smelled like and what it tasted like. So we could find a similarity here. We can say that lemon and chocolate both taste how they smell. Lemon and chocolate both taste how they smell. So that's a similarity. I'll put it down in the middle. Lemon and chocolate taste how they smell. I doubt that you find a lemon that tastes like a chocolate, because lemon tastes like lemon and chocolate tastes like chocolate. So we found a similarity. Both of these two foods taste the exact way that they smell. Sometimes you might smell something that seems like it'll be delicious. Like for me, that's coffee. When I smell coffee, it smells like it's going to be delicious. And sometimes I think it's going to smell sweet. And then I taste the coffee and it's not. It's nasty. Unless you add lots of sugar and milk. So that's not what it is with pudding or lemon. Pudding tastes very chocolatey. Chocolate pudding tastes very chocolatey, and it tastes just like that sweet chocolate deliciousness. The same with lemon. It smells like lemon, and you get that lemony goodness. All right? So let's move on to sound. How does it sound? Oh, let's go back one more. We did say that lemon and pudding taste like lemon and chocolate, but we also added these words. A lemon tastes sour, and that's a difference from pudding, which tastes what? Sweet. Pudding tastes sweet. Lemon tastes sour and pudding tastes sweet. Lemon tastes like lemon and chocolate tastes like chocolate. It smelled how it tasted. All right, let's go on to sound. How does it sound? I think we kind of found some similarities with how it sounded. So if we found something that was similar, where do we put it? If you said in the middle, then you're right. Because we said that when we ate a lemon, it kind of made a slurp when you ate it. So when eating lemon, it's kind of juicy and wet. So you kind of can slurp it when you eat it. And that's the same with pudding. When we're eating pudding, it has that same wet texture. It's wet, or it's juicy, or it's goopy, or it's sticky and thick. And you can slurp it when you eat it. So let's put slurp in the middle. And last, how does it feel? We just talked about that a little bit. Lemon feels hard, soft, wet, juicy, sticky. How do we describe the lemon? The lemon felt wet. We definitely said that. And when we talked about pudding, how did pudding feel? The pudding felt wet, or gooey or sticky. So I'm hearing some words that are the same in their description. I definitely heard the word wet twice. It described lemons and pudding, so I'm going to put the word wet in the middle. I also think that, what else can I say? I think that a lemon is juicy, but I don't think that pudding is juicy. So I'm just going to put juicy in the lemon side. Because you can make lemonade with lemons, but you can't really make pudding-aid. That wouldn't be good, now would it? That's just nasty. But what I would say about pudding is that it was almost goopy and gooey, and I like that texture, right? It's very unique to pudding. So I'm going to put the word goop or gooey. Goop or gooey on the side for pudding. So we have some similarities and some differences. I could say in a sentence that lemons are sour and juicy, and pudding is chocolatey and sweet. But lemons and pudding are like a wet feel, and you slurp it when you eat it. That was a sentence I made comparing and contrasting lemons and pudding. I used a special word called a conjunction. I used the word and to help me combine sentences. Let me do another one. Lemons are yellow, but chocolate pudding is brown. I used a conjunction. I used the word but to use two different ideas and to pair them together. Lemons are yellow, one idea, but chocolate pudding is brown. Both are delicious. Okay? I'm going to give you one more sentence, and then we're going to try our own sentences. How about a lemon, the lemon we had, was shaped like a half moon or a crescent. Yet, pudding doesn't have a shape unless you put it in something to give it a shape. Remember, we said that it was shapeless. I used the conjunction yet, so I made two ideas form one. Okay? So now I want you to make your own sentences. Give me some sentences using something called conjunctions. Here we go. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Here we go. Here are our conjunctions. I want you to, on your paper, write down this word. You're going to write it down vertically. That means it's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay? You're going to write the letter F. You're going to write the letter A. You're going to write the letter N. You're going to write the letter B. You're going to write the letter O. You're going to write the letter Y. You're going to write the letter S. So far, you have this chart, which you've already completed from last time. You made yourself a Venn diagram. So either on another sheet of paper or on the back, you're going to write these letters vertically. F, A, N, B, O, Y, S. This spells fanboys. This is called an acronym. You're going to write fanboys vertically. This is called an acronym. Acronyms help us remember much more information. It just gives us the first letter in a sequence of other words. So I'm giving you conjunctions. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Conjunctions help us to expand our sentences. We're so smart. We need some space for our brains to grow, okay? So we're going to expand. Everybody do it with me. Expand your sentence. You need some space. Give me some space. I need some space. So I'm going to give you some space with conjunctions. Next to the letter F, you're going to write the word F-O-R. And next to the letter A, you're going to write the word A-N-D. So far, we wrote for and. Next, you're going to write the letter N-O-R. Next, you're going to write the letters B-U-T for the words nor and but. Next, you're going to write the letters O-R. Next, you're going to write the letters Y-E-T for the words or and yet. And last, you're going to write the letter S and O, the letters S and O for the word so. Fanboy stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These are called conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions, to be technical. Why is it important to use these? It helps with our sentences. Get where I'm going with this? So it helps us put two ideas together, all right? And it makes our language sound a lot more crisp and beautiful and expanded. I mean, it's important so that we don't just speak in simple sentences because you have very rich brains, all right? So for, we're going to write one sentence using the word for, one sentence with and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Okay, so that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sentences. Bear with me, we can do this. You got this, all right? If you need to pause it and take a break, pause and take a break and come back to me. But we're just going to write these 7 sentences and then you're free. Okay. So first, what I want you to do is don't worry about numbering. What I want you to do is start off with for. We're going to give a sentence with the word for. We've been talking a lot about this compare and contrast with our lemons and our pudding and our Cheerios. Actually, it was Fruit Loops. We did all of that. So we can use that as examples within our conjunctions, okay? Some of it will be comparing and contrasting, and some of it will just be building out conjunctions in our sentences. So let's think of a for sentence. How can we use F-O-R in a sentence comparing two ideas? How about you put yourself in the sentence? Start off with you. You can say, put your name in there. I'll say Miss McDonald, or I could even use someone in my house like my mom or my dad or my sister or my brother or whomever who's in your home, you can put in there. So I'll make up a name of someone in my home and I'll say Ian put lemon in his water bottle for he was thirsty. Ian put lemon in his water bottle for he was thirsty. Let's write that out. Let's write it out. Let me help you. Ian put lemon in his water bottle for he was thirsty. Ian put lemon in his water bottle for he was thirsty. My first example, I used the word for. I could have just said, Ian put lemon in his water bottle, period. He was thirsty. But instead, I expanded the sentence. I made it longer. I stretched it out. When we do that, we're making our sentence more complex, and that looks good in your writing. Ian put lemons in his water bottle for he was thirsty. We're adding conjunctions to make ourselves have a longer sentence length. Let's do another one. This one you're very familiar with, and. Let's get an example with and. What else can we write? What about Let's do some comparing and contrasting with our chart. I'll give you my sentence. I love sour. Ooh, let's put some adjectives in there. I love sour lemons and chocolate pudding. But not together, because that would be nasty. I love sour lemons and chocolate pudding, but not together. So I used the conjunction and. I also used but. I used the conjunction and. I also used but. Okay? Let's keep it going. We're going to use the conjunction nor. Nor is something that is a negation. That means that's not. Not that. Nor. So let's figure that one out. What can we write? You know how I feel about Fruit Loops, right? I don't like them. So let me make a sentence with that. I'm going to say, I don't eat Fruit Loops. Nor lemons together, because that'd be nasty. I don't eat Fruit Loops nor lemons together. I don't eat Fruit Loops nor lemons together. I want you to make up a sentence. What do you not do? Nor do I do that either. I do not lose at Fortnite, nor do I let anybody else win. Hey, what about that one? All right. We already did a sentence with but. I know you guys are probably getting tired, so I'll let that go. We used but up here. We said, I love sour lemons and chocolate pudding, but not together. So we use the conjunction and, reading backwards is hard, and but. So we're going to move on to or. Or. What sentence can we make with or? Let's look. How about, I got it. Let's try this. What's your favorite crunchy cereal? More comparing and contrasting using or. Fruit Loops or Cheerios? That's a question mark at the end because it's a question. What's your favorite cereal? Fruit Loops or Cheerios? What's your favorite cereal? Fruit Loops or Cheerios? You see how we expanded that? We used or. 2 more to go. Let's do yet. How about a sentence like this? The pudding was very gooey, yet satisfying. The pudding was very gooey, yet satisfying. I could have just said the pudding was very gooey. And that would have been it. But I added yet satisfying so people knew how I felt about the pudding. The pudding was very gooey, yet satisfying. Let's do one more. And the last one we know is so. So. How about this? I ran out of milk. So I ate my cereal dry. I ran out of milk, so I ate my cereal dry. I use all of the conjunctions. Fanboys. Guess what your homework is? You guessed it! You're going to be using these conjunctions to create your own sentences. We've talked about comparing and contrasting, so you can use some of those concepts. We also talked about using adjectives, so you can use those concepts in making your sentences with conjunctions. I want you to make sentences using these concept words, okay? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. You can make any sentence up you want. If you need help, I can break it down for you. Let's choose some topics. We can talk about our favorite sports, our favorite TV shows. We can compare and contrast the foods that we were talking about earlier. How about those will be some of the topics we can use, if you need help. Now, I gave you some examples. We wrote down those examples. If you didn't write it down, I suggest going back in the video and writing down the examples that I gave so that you have an idea of how to write your conjunction sentences. You're writing 7 sentences, 7, so that you can understand conjunctions and expanding your sentence length, expanding your oral length when you're trying to speak out and use more expanded sentences when we're talking to one another, okay? You've done a lot with these 2 videos. We went over verbs, we went over nouns, we went over adjectives, we did comparing and contrasting. We went over conjunctions. You made a chart, and you also wrote sentences and a Venn diagram. What? You're a beast. What? All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Your parents should have my number and information. Please send me videos of you working on this. I'm so excited for you. I'm ready to see what you got, okay? Most importantly, enjoy your time with your family right now. I know it's really hard for all of us. Let's just be family members to one another in our home. Give everybody a break. Give them some grace because it's hard for everyone right now. And hopefully we'll be able to be outside soon, okay? Miss you guys. Big hugs. Ooh, high fives. And I'll see you later.